Welcome back this week, everyone, as we tackle our part 2 of the video game Black.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my game, so
It
unless you
is.
guys have something to say, we're just gonna dive right into it. You know, all right. Normally, I have to preamble and then pass it off.
I know, right?
I just
You gotta
pass
pass
it
to
to
yourself.
me.
Yeah.
All right. So forgive me. I have my notes over here, right?
Okay.
So if I'm looking over this way, that's what I'm looking at. So
Okay.
we're tackling 3 chapters, right? This week, and we come. Remember, last week we ended as we were holding off the farm, and we were, as soon as that happened, we got the cutscene as we were meeting McCarver, who was the female lieutenant, and now we're gonna talk about it. I think I was right. We're gonna talk about Christian.
Now we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah. I think I was right. We have some story stuff to talk about. The gameplay stuff is a little light. We'll maybe hit on it.
You can shoot things.
It's the same.
It
So
is.
let's get into chapter 3. So in this cutscene, we are back in the interrogation room. Who the interrogator's name I now forget by this point because it doesn't.
I forgot that they gave him a name.
I think they gave him a name. I'm pretty sure they did,
Does
and
it
I had it in
matter?
my.
They do.
it really
I don't
matter?
remember it, but he does have a
I don't
name.
think it matters.
We're Keller,
Uh-huh.
and
Keller?
yeah, I don't know. I don't care. So we're back in the interrogation room, and the interrogator is like, "Hey, so
Way to sneak that one in there,
I
Preston.
know.
yeah, I was just gonna let it go.
Oh, yeah, you should.
So he's like, "Hey, how did you know to meet McCarver?" Right? Because we go back to like 4 days earlier. We're tracking Seventh Wave, and we say our mission was to meet up with Lieutenant McCarver, but like we don't say why we knew to do that. So it's like, how did you know to meet McCarver, and how did you know McCarver had information about the American? And we're just like, wait, what are you talking about? Like, I didn't know anything, right? So the interrogator plays a tape, and it's McCarver talking to that interrogator, right? So clearly, like, they've been talking some other time, and they're talking about Linux, who is that American. Sorry if you hear my dog in the background. He's the American mercenary that did not kill us, and that's who they're talking about. And Lieutenant McCarver's like, yeah, so I first heard about this dude when I was in, like, part of the CIA. He was part of a Black Ops group, and he was supposed to stop a bomb going off in Cairo. However, whatever happened went bad. A whole lot of people died, including Linux. And she's like, that is until he started popping up in, like, Peru and Paris and Germany and Luxembourg. And like all of a sudden,
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
and I was thinking, like, she was like always one step ahead of us, and I'm just like, how was this dude moving around so quickly? You're talking like day after day after day, not like month after month, like just real quick. It's like, oh, he's all over the
It's a
freaking
video
place.
game, man.
Jason
He's
Bourne.
got fast travel.
Yeah, it was Jason Bourne. So in that interrogation, the guy's like, hey, so you knew he had contact or ties to Seventh Wave. She's like, ties? What are you talking about? Like, this MF ran the thing, right? So it comes back to us, and we're asked again, like, how we knew about her and how we knew McCarver had it. And we say, there's a guy on our squad, Sergeant Solomon, who made mention of her. So really, like, it was just coincidence. We knew we were looking for this. We were looking for the head of Seventh Wave through another guy in the squad. He just said he happened to know somebody that was also on to this person's trail, right? And he's like, we just followed that. It was just sheer coincidence. And the guy interrogating us, like, I don't believe in coincidences. So, like, tell me about the next stop in the job once we met with McCarver. I don't know. So, I'm sorry. Like, we say, like, the next job was across the Nazran to hit a steel plant on the other side of the city. So we start to get into that. I don't know if it took you guys a minute. It took me a minute to realize what he was implying here, right? It was like, I don't believe in coincidences, but essentially implying that, like, was it coincidence, or did Solomon purposely drop that information to get us to meet up with McCarver and
The
work
setup.
with her?
Yeah.
Right. What was it a setup? Now we don't know where this goes and how this ends. So, okay, maybe he did do it on purpose. Like, we don't know to what end McCarver wants us working with him, but but that's what that is. This leads us right into mission 3, where it's exactly as I said. We're trying to cross.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I thought for some reason we had ended on mission 2, and so we did 3, 4, and 5 this time.
We did do 3, 4.
Yeah,
5.
he's talking about the cutscene brings you into
The
mission
cutscene,
3.
the cutscene, yeah, where it's like we have to
Right.
cross Nazran and
Right.
go. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
brings
yeah.
into the mission. So our whole job is to go through the town of Nazran. I don't know if you guys noticed this. It took me until the very end of the mission, but I went back and made a note of it now. There was no music in this level for me.
I didn't notice, to be fair.
There was no music.
I'd have to go back and I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. The other missions had music, which is why I went back and
Incredible.
noted it after
Really
the fact.
good music,
Because it
too,
wasn't
yeah.
it wasn't until I got to 4 where I went, oh, there was no music in that mission whatsoever.
Yeah.
So we're dropped in a graveyard and we're kind of like going around the town and we're dodging sniper fire, which will be a theme of this mission for some reason. So we're dodging sniper fire and we're trying to get to we get to a building where we find Sniper and McCarver's like, hey, grab hold of the weapon, take control of the situation. So we're up in this house and, just like the other missions, we kind of shoot people with a sniper. I don't know how you guys felt about this. This was very long. There was
feel that bad.
lots of
No, I didn't feel bad with this one at all. I mean, you're
No.
going through, taking out some guys, not getting hit by a sniper. You get to the sniper point, which even if you replace your sniper, there will be
Yeah.
a sniper rifle there for you. But yeah, I like sniper kind of like missions because you just get to hold up, you just get to go a little boink boink boink. I'm horrible with a sniper rifle when it comes to like multiplayer games, but like when it comes to single player games, I always just like the sniper missions.
Yeah.
So, truth and honesty time. I was playing this game obviously while I was out and about. I was in a hotel, so I'm playing the game. Maybe it's because there was no music that definitely could have played a part. I also had traveled, whatever. I actually fell asleep in the middle of this level.
Okay.
It's just so much running.
That I am almost sure that there is no music in this level. Then it wasn't.
Yeah, now that you say it, I feel like that probably had something to do with it. But during there was just so much running you're going through, and there was just a part where I started to feel myself go, and then before I knew it, I had woken up, and I was just sitting there with a sniper rifle doing nothing.
You didn't even die?
No, because I was behind cover, but it was just
Okay.
ambient noise that's happening in the background. I woke up and I was like, "Oh Jesus Christ!"
I have done that before in hotels.
Yeah.
Like I have with Steve, I've totally done that before. So we're sniping the dudes. To me, it took a while. The other thing that I found frustrating or interesting, I guess, I don't know however you want to classify it, is like we have a sniper rifle and we're just like looking like really far across this place. We're just bang bang picking people off. These dudes have assault rifles, right? They are a sniper rifle scope away from us, but their accuracy is equally as good as ours is from the other side, and I was just like, that's a little.
Which we don't
That's a
get
little
that
much.
accuracy when we use a assault rifle.
No.
Because I've tried to hit from very far away. You got to put to the single shot to get like decent accuracy. But,
Yeah.
like, once they're super far away, not only is like the accuracy just off, but
Yeah.
the enemies lose frames the further away they are. I don't know if you guys noticed
It
that on
does.
these
It
levels.
has it uses the trick, and there's a lot of games that do this, but there's like foreground and background FPS, right? And so the thing they used to do that to help, run time, like load times, just FPS in general, just like how things ran and things. Is that as you got closer, it would obviously
Sure.
there's basically like a bubble around the player of good textures and good frame rate, and it would follow them wherever they went, and then everything else would just be shit all around
Yeah.
it. Well, for most games, that's fine, right? Like, think about it in the terms of like, just if we're going to use this company's other games, think about it in terms of Burnout, right? That works because if I'm looking ahead, it doesn't really matter that the foreground or the background is at 30 FPS or 15 FPS or whatever, because as long as it gets up to whatever the stable frame rate is by the time the car gets there, well, that's all that matters. And everything is moving so fast and smeared because of the motion blur and everything that it really doesn't fucking matter, right? Like, and if you're say you're far back, say you're 8th place and there's first place, well, it doesn't really matter that first place is all choppy or whatever, because I'm not really paying attention to it. I'm paying attention to the thing that's in front of me, and then when I get there, it will already be that new thing. FPS games, there is a problem, because if the enemies are very far away and they're in the bad frame rate dimension, you have to shoot at them from the good frame rate dimension into the bad frame rate dimension.
I
so
really
a lot of
noticed
games
that in the sniper mission. I noticed it in the later missions, but I don't think I really noticed it too much in the sniper one.
Well, so they fix it. They fix it with the There's a lot of times where some games will fix it by like Halo is known for this, where when you zoom in, you bring the good frame rate dimension with you.
Yeah, because it moves
right?
it moves the plane
Yeah.
further out versus.
But there's a lot of games, and there's some in this, but like early Tom Clancy games, like early like Ghost Recon and Rainbow Six games, you can see that sort of same thing happening where enemies it'll look like it'll be so hard to adjust your scope, because you'll tap the scope and it'll be like whoosh and like go, but then enemies will be like duh, 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 like doing their little thing, and that's what's going on there. But
you get past 100 feet there in the Spider-Verse.
That's that's a fantastic breakdown of the way those games used to handle that tech. That's really good.
I mean, games still do it today. You see, like Path of Exile, a game that we all just played. Preston will play it when it hits 1.0. But Diablo games, stuff like that. Like there's settings for foreground FPS and background FPS, because there's just things that if you don't need it to run well, or if you want to increase performance and just say like, hey, I don't really care about whatever that shit looks like in the background.
Well, it's, the old draw distance and other shit that you can turn down if you don't care. So interesting. So we're going through the graveyard. We're taking people out. We take people out of machine guns. Try to get back to where I was. Oh, I made a comment here. I don't know how you guys felt about this. And Christian, I know you said you fell asleep, but we were like in a city, and this in modern time. And all of a sudden we get to this level, and this level has like a sepia tone brown over everything. You're given a sniper rifle with a wood stock that actually makes it look older than it actually is, and there's no music, and all of a sudden I felt like I was playing like an OG Call of Duty game. Like not a Modern Warfare or anything like that, just a Call of Duty 1942 sort of game is all of a sudden what it felt like. And actually gets worse.
Feels like,
Yeah, but it's a modern game, like at the time. It's like
yes.
What I mean modern warfare game, right?
Sure.
Like, it takes place in the year that the game came out.
Yes.
But all of a sudden this level felt old. Like you took a step back in time with the environments and the color.
In the middle of old Russia towns,
It was very jarring all of a sudden. So we make it to the building we have to cross a sniper alley, if you will, in the final building, which again, like this level, you're going through just taking out sniper points, and then you get to sniper alley, and like you have a sniper rifle, and everybody's so far away. It's like, I get it, it's a sniper level. Like let's tone it down, right? Which takes us to the Raznov tunnels, and as soon as we open the door to the Raznov tunnels, this is where this ends, right? So we're back in our interrogation room. We're listening to the interrogator talk to McCarver again on the tape. And she's saying that like Linux was essentially a black ops CIA agent. He was an American paid terrorist, if you will. And he was all over the place, kind of like wreaking havoc on our dime, destabilizing countries and regimes and other stuff. However, he started messing with plans, like making little tweaks here, little tweaks there, and things started going wrong, and other people that weren't supposed to die started dying, and now all of a sudden, he's turning into a problem, right? So they need to stop him, and you can't just fire a guy like that, I assume, because he knows too much and can do too much. You could probably throw him at a black site, or you can just take the route these guys took, and it's try and kill him. So they sent a team to try and stop him, and he essentially takes the team out. Is what happens. He gets away, right? So then he comes out and he's like, okay, so tell me, like, we're back to us. And he's like, tell me about the next operation. We say, well, we were to take out the steel plant being used as a weapons factory because we figure, like, if we can't take out the head of Seventh Wave, we can at least take out their main resource, which is exporting weapons, and we can hurt them for a little bit. We can take away their money, right? However, like, it's too political to be a direct hit, right? It's too in the news, if you will. So they needed a black team to take it out. So McCarver's crew was tasked to do it, and we are part of that to go help. So, back in the mission, our mission is to rendezvous at the main plant. And this mission is generally straightforward. No real stuff to talk about. I mean, you're just walking and shooting and walking, running sometimes, killing some people, getting shot at. It's pretty basic. The only comment I had around one of these, so I think it was this mission, and I may not have made a note of it, or if I did, maybe it comes later, but I got really confused during this playthrough. I don't know how you guys felt about this. You get to a point where when we get into the town, like, we're going through trenches. All the buildings are bombed out, right? Like, I thought we were just trying to take down a guerrilla terrorist cell, and now I'm confused. Like, are we in the middle of a war? Because otherwise, why are there trenches dug in this town? Why is this town owned and overrun with nothing but, like, the security forces of this terrorist group? Yeah, like, there's...
But I
like,
thought the implication was that at the time, that whole area is
issues,
just like... Yeah, like, it's just in conflict. Like, it's just like... It's like the whole game takes place in war-torn Eastern Europe. Like, it's just like... Everything's just shitty over there.
Yeah.
So that's what we're just going with the typical, like, late 90s, early 2000s.
Wars happening in these towns.
Yes.
Yeah.
All Eastern Europe is just war torn.
Plagued by civil unrest and war torn. Yes.
All the time. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I just thought it was a little weird. I was like, this happened like 4 days before we were in the city, and now all of a sudden we're going through literal trenches and bunkers, and like we take out like machine gun turret bunkers and sniper posts. I'm just like, what game did this just turn into?
Because what year was that? Like, what year? Not year the actual game, but like what year is the story based in?
That was 2000.
Oh, I think it's based on like the year the game came out. It's just like modern.
Is it?
Nothing special. Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Keep talking. I'm gonna look some stuff up. Go ahead.
Okay. Are you gonna look up to see if Russia was taking over anybody? Okay. Fair enough.
Wouldn't be surprising. So is this the one with the minefield, or is that the chapter 6 or 5?
Chapter 5. Mission 4 has the minefield.
Okay.
So you start off. That was like the big thing for this one, where it's like, hey, be careful, watch your step. Like, there's mines everywhere. Use
fun.
your gun to shoot the mines.
I saw it from
before
afar.
you blow
So I
up.
was sitting there, you get the field full of them, and then of course there's explosive gas tanks everywhere as well. But it was fun because like you shoot one, but like, so the explosions sometimes happen in proximity if there are other explosions. Sometimes they don't. So like I'll shoot a mine and it'll follow a trail of explosions, but the mine right next to the one I shot doesn't explode. I'm like, okay, so I'm trying to like hit these right to like get the dudes who are out there already. And then they have these giant tanks. Most of the time it will kill somebody immediately, but on occasion you'll have an enemy just standing right there in front of the tank and just somehow just didn't kill him. He hunkers down a little bit, I guess. But like I'm sitting there, I'm like, why are you still alive? That giant gas tank behind you is dead. Not to mention, and this is going to happen in the other section. I think we'll talk about it a little bit more too, because there's more obvious set pieces like this. But this entire area is rigged by demolition experts, because you shoot one thing,
Strategic,
and then it's like, as if they were going to take down the building later on that day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Don't get me wrong. They wanted you to have this cool, like, I shot this one thing and all these explosions are happening. It's fucking crazy. Oh, man. And I get it. It's fine. This is of the era to where I want to put red barrels everywhere and make them go boom. But this is taking it to the extreme on purpose. and I think
Maybe
having
you
fun with
could.
it.
Maybe you could play it off with if it is war torn, they're worried some other force would come in and occupy them. They could strategically take out their buildings.
Sure.
So
Right? They're pre-planned for
Sure.
demolition, so you
let
don't
me
have
just
to
tell
worry
ya,
about anybody.
So around when this game, if it all is taking place when the game came out, so modern, so like around 2006, there were plenty of conflicts going around in Eastern Europe. There was tons of separatist movements and conflicts that were happening in Georgia.
close.
The Kosovo conflict was going on, which was particularly nasty between them wanting independence and Russia not wanting to give it to them. So.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
There's probably a reason that everything looks like
plenty
shit
of
there
places
because
like
it
that.
probably did look like shit.
Okay. That's no. I'll give them a pass. It felt like a drastic turn of like modern. We start the game off in modern in a city and we're chasing a terrorist. Now all of a sudden we are literally just in a war torn battlefield. And you're just like, what just happened? And it was a slow change of like modern. That sniper level with like felt like Call of
Some
Duty,
graveyard.
and then all of a sudden, we're just okay.
Now we're in it.
Okay. They win.
We
You
crossed the
win,
border.
Black.
We're getting into some more shit. This is how it goes.
So,
Yeah.
that is how it goes. So yeah, there's not a whole lot to talk about. Oh, Preston, what I was gonna say, it is funny, like you said, that guy doesn't die. Like sometimes guys will die when they're by gas tanks. There's a lot of stuff that makes me giggle that doesn't make sense. I was actually talking to Travis about this.
how the rocket launcher
Because,
dudes
like,
explode every time you kill them.
well, not just that's funny too, but no, like simple things, right? Like you can only open a door with a shotgun or a grenade, right? Like which is
Can't punch
funny because
it.
no, I mean you can't turn a dude. There is a chance that 60% of these doors are just unlocked. Like you could just walk up to them. 'Cause why would they be locked? This is an occupied area by one force. You could just walk up and turn the knob. Like
We
you
made-
can only...
We made tech. They're going to use the tech.
Take down the
Yes.
doors. Cool. Let's waste a shotgun shell.
I know. It's just funny. It is so funny. Like the lengths this game goes to be like, but big boom though, and you're like, I get
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Okay,
They love the big booms.
boom, though. I get it. So as we like I said, there's not a whole lot special to talk about. So we come out of this, we're back in the interrogation room. I don't know why you have to say that every time in a cutscene. We can just assume that every one of these cutscenes
Until
takes
it's
place in the
not,
interrogation
yeah.
room. Until the end, I think it right. So the interrogator says that he also talked to Solomon, and it's like, oh, tell us about Solomon, because we talked to him and he doesn't have too many nice things to say about you. We're just like, oh, you don't be a dick. Like Solomon fucking loves me. And then he hits play, and Solomon's like, oh yeah, he's kind of a hothead, and he what do you say? He's not one to care about collateral damage. He doesn't know the meaning of collateral damage. And I agree. I think we have proven
It's how the game wants you to play, so yeah.
I think we've proven ourselves that collateral damage is more of the feature,
the name
not
of the
the
game.
bug.
Yeah.
Like the name of the game. So he wasn't wrong. Then we're asked. They're like, all right, well, just tell us about Valencio. So just to remind anybody, right? Our next operation, we're talking about getting to Valencio. Valencio was one of the three guys we were tasked with observing and taking out in the very first mission, right? He was one of the leader of seventh wave. He was one of the three. So we say that, off is simple, get in, get out job. After we did the job at the Steelworks, where we took that stuff out, we were upgraded back to alpha status, which is probably made up. So we are back on the big operations, right? We did one simple thing after being demoted. Now we're back up to the top. So we have to get Valencio out from where he's hiding. And Intel said he's hiding in an old asylum. So we're tasked with bringing him in, which brings us to Tivli's asylum. This is just a mission, a long mission that takes place in a small area. It's just an asylum. We do introduce a new enemy to change up things a bit. We had the shielded enemies that we could shoot with shotguns and stuff earlier. Now we have shielded enemies that bullets do no damage to.
Riot shield
You get it.
enemies.
Only take them out with grenades.
Mhm.
That's it.
It really sucks when you don't have grenades.
I can imagine. How do you not have grenades? You played on easy.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
If you want me just to go through it, I mean, it happened at the end of this chapter.
No. So I will say, like, I did kind of like this. I liked the ambiance of this mission. I like the setting of this mission. I thought the asylum looked cool.
I like the level design. I was going to say, like, this last, the one before that and this one, I really like the level design of these two maps. This chapter right here has the best, so far, music in it. Like, I fucking really dug the music on this last mission because it was just like feeling it. I'm like, damn, this is fucking. And I remember that you told me it was like a very pronounced like composer. I'm like, yeah, this motherfucker's hitting the tens on this one. This one's fucking rad.
I like the music. I like the level design. Being in the asylum, it's very vertical. There's a lot of verticality up to it. You're just going up floors and fighting your way through and stuff. There's a lot of interesting stuff in here. There's like pillboxes built into this place for like turrets and other stuff that you have to take out, which is like, I mean, I guess like this place is pretty
holding
abandoned.
up.
I don't know why you're
big rooms. I guess you need one, but
I guess. I mean, you built it facing into the big room, so whatever. But you know, what have you? But this mission again, pretty straightforward as you're navigating up and down this asylum. Except towards the end, this mission has just like a fight. And a fight that just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes.
It's the first time I died.
And you're like, oh, it's got to be over by now. And the game's like, no, it's not. And we're gonna throw more shielded enemies at you, and just lots of gut. It's just it was a lot to the point to where I was like,
it insists upon itself.
I get it, game. I've experienced all you have to offer, and like every mission is like arena run end, right? So by the time I get to this third or fourth arena, and you're just like, we're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna give you 7 times the amount of enemies that never stop coming. I was just like, okay, I really just want this mission to be done, personally. So yes, that brings us once we get to the fight, we get to the end of this asylum. We blow up a pillbox that is there, and we run through, and they say, "Capture Valencio by any means necessary." And then that choice is seemingly taken out of our hands as it immediately goes to a cutscene, and that's the end of the mission. So we'll have to find out when we come back what those means.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
But yeah, but that was our playthrough. So general thoughts on mission 3, 4, and 5 of this. Or Preston, you could tell us about that last fight you had there too.
So I'll just go with my opinions on this 3 chapters. So I did enjoy the sniper nest one. I thought it was a nice change of pace. A little bit boring when it comes to like the environment, but being able to take down the individual gravestone, I thought was a pretty cool touch. And didn't seem to be as long. The other 2 seemed to be a little bit longer than I would have liked as far as just how it felt. I will say that these last 2, as far as 4 and 5, looked really good. So like anytime I could hear somebody talk about Black, it's like, oh man, it was like one of the best looking shooters back then, blah, 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 blah. The first couple missions did not convince me of that. But the last 2 that we just played for 4 and 5 I thought were pretty good. Like the God rays that they put on some of those areas in the buildings coming through, I thought looked really good. Just the environment itself, I thought was really well done. And like I said, level design too. Some odd like animations I got. I mean, obviously I'm trying to hit some guys from far away because rocket launcher people, they can see you from far away. So they're going to shoot at you. But if you're trying to do the single shot to hit them, sometimes it just wasn't making it. I don't know if there was like bullet drop or what the deal was, but I was having a hard time hitting him, and then just like, okay, fuck it. I'm just gonna run up to like the next couple areas, just dodging the rockets, and then I'll start shooting at them. Right before you get into the asylum, there's that big building, got the pillbox down there, right? I'm just like taking out dudes, getting ready to take care of the pillbox, but there's just fucking rockets keep coming at me. I don't know where they're coming from. It's driving me nuts. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna jump out there. I kind of see what direction they're coming from. I'm going to jump out there. I'm just going to stare in one direction and see where the rockets comes out at. The rockets were going through the glass window in that building. So it didn't break the window, But I'm looking, I'm like, where? So I'm looking at the windows, like peeking out, like I don't see anybody. I don't see. What the fuck is this coming from? And then one of the times that rocket comes, I'm like, what the fuck did it come from? I'm like, it's coming from that building. And I'm like, okay, fuck it. We're just gonna stare at it until the rocket comes out. And I notice it, and you got those orange fucking glass windows, and rocket comes right out, right out of there. I'm like, you motherfuckers. So I start shooting, glass falls down. I take out the dude. I'm like, I'm pissed. But that's whatever. It says to take out the pillbox. I don't really know what they're talking about as far as like the gun placement or like the mounted gun area, the machine gun area. I'm like, what do you mean take it out? I killed the guys in there. There's no one in there. Like, what do you want me to do? I didn't realize it wanted me to throw like a couple of grenades. I didn't realize it wanted me to throw a couple of grenades in there and that the whole building was going to be set for demolition and go and have a hole there for you to jump into. So you go into that section and it's like, okay, hold your position. I'm holding position.
I am holding position.
Holding position. I'm like, nothing is happening. I'm sitting there for like 5-10 minutes. Like, okay, I put the controller down, kind of like dick around my phone for a minute just to see what happens. Nothing happens. So you go a little further and it's like, don't you go in there. They're fucking yelling at me like, don't you dare fucking go in there. I'm like, hold position. I'm like, okay. Hold position for a couple more minutes. Nothing happens. I'm like, fuck this. So I just go in, and obviously I look up a guide later on. I'm like, what would happen if you hold position? I'm like, nothing happens. They don't want you to hold position. They want you to play as the character who's being a dickhead going against protocol and orders, and you just go in there anyways. But I'm sitting there.
We did it, and that was the whole thing at the end of mission 1. Like they told us to not chase the guy and not go in and stay where we were. We did anyway, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I'm sitting there like, because there's two of them. There's a lady and there's a dude, and they're both like screaming at you not to go in. I'm like, okay. I won't. Nothing happens. I'm like, all right. So I guess we're just gonna do the thing that they tell me not to do. I'm like, okay, we'll do it, and it continues the mission. I'm like, all right, fuck me. And then we're getting into the asylum. We get towards the end. There's that last room. You got the glass wall up in the front. You're at the bottom. You can try to sneak in, I guess, a little bit, but they're gonna see you sooner or later. And that's where they drop down the 2 shield guys and a bunch of other people in there, including a shotgun dude. I'm just fucking drilling into these shield dudes. Like, nothing's happening. Nothing's going at them. I don't have any grenades when I walk in here. Now, after I died later on in this section we'll get to, I do find out that right above me, if I just go up the staircase, there's like grenades galore. Because you need them to take down the pillbox in the first place.
Well, they throw grenades at you this entire game because they want you to take out everything.
Sure. But apparently I went too crazy on the pillbox beforehand. I didn't get grenades going into that little last area. So I'm trying to take them out with everything, and you can even still see like I'm trying to do the modern game thing towards like, okay, he's got a shield. I can see where his hand's at because he's got to pull out his gun over there. So I'm trying to shoot the hand. Nothing happens. I can kind of see a little bit of the head. Nothing happens. And I'm looking like fucking Google it. How do you kill these guys? I'm like, well, it's just grenades. Now, if you get lucky, you can get behind them. You're not gonna get behind them unless you're sneaking up on them. And then it's like, oh, the other guys, I'm like, well, I'm not going to even look at this part because it says how to take care of the other guys. Apparently there's harder shield dudes. Or not as hard shield dudes. But I can't kill you guys. So for the first time I go into this area, I say, fuck it. I'm going up the stairs. These guys aren't going up the stairs. I'm just going to go into the stairs. I hold off on, because they have like just random normal rooms. I hold off in a room on the right side next to those windows, like kind of that wall that pillbox is on. Just taking out dudes, fucking just having a time. Just fucking taking out dudes, no big deal. Run out of health packs because the guys aren't near me, but every once in a while I'll try to jump out and get them. But I just have like a whole bunch of dudes coming at me. Come to find out, that room is a spawn point. They spawn from above the room and drop down the hole, and I'm sitting here just getting hosed by 2 dudes. And I die.
If you go in the left room, you're golden.
I found that out later on. The second time I go through it, what I end up doing is going back to that back wall, like above where you enter in, and just stay back there. I'm taking out dudes left and right. I throw a couple grenades down there to get out the shield guys. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I'm taking everybody out. Run forward a little bit if I need some health. It's fine. I take care of it. All good and dandy. And then just really love the music for that last, especially the last chapter. It really hit. I don't know what it was about it, but it was just fucking. It was better than what I expected from this game. And it got to a point to where I was, to be fair, I got stuck at some point in this asylum too, not knowing where the fuck to go because all the rooms look somewhat the same. And you got to figure out which staircase to went because some staircases are broken, some bridges are broken. And you want to go down here and it's this way. And I went to go take a piss and I came back. I'm like, I don't know where the fuck I'm going and what I'm doing because all this looks the same. There's no icons, modern day icons or markers telling you which door to go into if you don't do it right in 5 minutes. So I'm a little stuck, but I ran around the whole fucking room, figured it out. I like the game a little bit better with this second part. It's not to say I think it's a great game, but I do see some of the things that people liked from back then. And obviously, this would have been a lot more fun if if it was two of us, one or two of us, like just hanging out, playing through, bullshitting as friends, maybe having a beer, maybe smoking a little bit of weed, playing some of this game. It would have been a fun time, right? So take that away from it, it loses a little bit of the luster, but I can kind of see how people enjoy this game, to be fair.
I do respect the tech in this game. Like I think that it's clearly, like I said before, and I still feel this way. I think the destruction tech in this game is clearly the only reason they made this game. It was Criterion did it, and they just threw something to get it. But I find basically everything else about this game to be completely forgettable. Like I think the story is just nothing. Like every single time we get into a cutscene, and we're getting yelled at by dork in glasses, and he's like, "Well, fuck you." Blah, blah, blah. So I'm just like, oh my god, let me out of this room.
And we are
like,
try-hard army guy.
Kill me now. Put me on trial. Kill me now. I don't care. I don't want to tell you any more of this story. Like the areas and everything, like you just it's you, like what Alex was saying is that you just, it's a lot of rinse repeat stuff. You walk up, you can almost see as you're running through somewhere, you're like, oh, that's gonna be where enemies spawn. Like this will be something. You get in and it's like, a door. I will shoot it with my shotgun to keep going, because to Alex's point, you can never just open up a door handle. Like they want you to use this tech, and so you need to use it. Same thing with all the enemies and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. I think like even so I looked this up, and I need to get the dates right again.
2006 is when this game came out.
Yes, 2006 was when this game came out, and I'm about to not do it any particular favors here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Halo 1 is out in 2001, and Halo 2 is out in 2004.
Yeah.
So it's a little harder to be like, well, like, no, like Halo 1 had a lot of these problems, ironed out and fixed. And certainly Halo 2 did as well. Halo 2 is a little harder to hold you against because it came out in 2004, right? So more than likely you'd already been working on this game for a little while, but Halo 1 was out.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fine. Like there's no I don't think it's
you know where the budget, like you can see where the budget went.
Yeah.
The budget went in the tech, and the budget went in the movie. Like Travis and I were talking, and he made a good point. He was like, "This might be the most Michael Bay feeling video game ever played. Like you can just see it, in the cutscene and stuff." And I agree. Like it feels. I'll probably just stole his thunder on whatever comment he's going to leave, and I apologize, Travis. I truly don't know what his comment's going to be, but it did feel very Michael Bay-y in a lot of points.
It does. It feels. It feels a lot like
that's where the money's gone.
Yeah, it feels, honestly, it feels the same way as, like, if I went to go watch, like, a Jason Bourne movie or something, right? Like, gun to my head right now, I've seen three of those movies. I don't know how many there are. But, gun to my head, I wouldn't be able to tell you a single thing that happened to him, or happened in those movies, outside of the Jesus Christ is Jason Bourne scene.
Yeah.
I can't.
There's 4 of those movies, 3 with Matt Damon and 1 with Jeremy Renner. Did he do one? Somebody else do one?
I think so.
Yeah.
What?
I think there's 4.
But, But Matt Damon is Jason Bourne.
I don't know. Like, are they all like? Can anybody be Jason Bourne? Kind of like anybody can be James Bond.
No.
Maybe.
No.
I think they may have tried to do that. Yeah. Jeremy Renner also played. No, hang on. No, Jeremy Renner plays Aaron Cross.
Oh, okay.
He plays a different guy, but I think Matt Damon is just still Bourne.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Either way. The game's fine. Like, there's not, like, I'm not, like, this not, but it is just, as I'm playing through it, I just keep, like, even, as we were going through, like, when I loaded it up to play through this weekend, there was moments where I was like, oh, right, because it had already just flown out of my mind.
Yeah. I actually think, as a whole, I fall more in line with Preston. Like, I don't love it. I can see and remember
You have
its
nostalgia
good
as well, yeah.
parts. Yeah. And like there are things I do like about it. Like the cutscenes and stuff are fine. Like I find myself trying to guess where it's gonna go. I think like, you know, this guy that's interrogating us is definitely working with Seventh Wave and probably
Or something, yeah.
Linux and all. Right? Like I think I find some fun in that. But there are other times, and I like the guns and the sound and the way they look and stuff. But then there are other times where, like, especially the way I'm playing right now, which I think is the wrong way to do it, where I'm trying to map scrape for stuff, even though I don't need all 10 side missions. I'm map scraping. It turns these missions into like hour and 15-minute long slogs.
It's
and
too
I'm just
much.
like,
There's no
this-
reason for you to do
like,
that.
well, and I don't think I'm gonna do it before, but it's just like these levels don't need to be this long. We don't need 4 arenas and so like just a couple gets the point,
So-
right? But like they really lean into it. Some of these missions are just so.
Are you
long.
getting anything? Because I finally started finding other
No,
things.
Preston,
like,
you get-
like,
you get nothing.
Like because I've seen a laptop, I've seen a safe, and I've seen like one of those little booklets or like folders or whatever. And I shot the safe and the laptop, so they disappear. But I don't. What does that do for you?
Yeah. So
Nothing.
if I told you, like when you get those things, it's like, oh, like wire transfer information and stuff. Like you could go in
Those
and
are
like read and
objectives.
get more. Yeah, like if you could go in and get more lore, like that would be super cool, right? But like you can't. They do literally nothing. Like if they did something.
Are they the
Cool.
objective
So
points for the harder difficulties? Like you have to find the
Yes.
laptop.
Yeah,
at that point?
so-
Okay. Well, fuck that.
Yes, and the only purpose they actually serve is on the hardest difficulty. If you get all of them, I believe you unlock gold-plated
I
weapons.
just want to say, I bet
Yeah.
you. I bet you.
Probably.
I was gonna say, I bet you get the fucking gold-plated guns you see in the fucking main menu.
Yes. And I think they have some sort of like kick to them. You probably get like a
Sure.
Monero or some bullshit, right? But
Sure.
like that's the only purpose.
Not
It would
worth
be
it.
cool. It would be cool if like you got stuff and it gave you a little like you had a little dossier you could read about.
If
some
you
of
and your
these
friend are
things.
sitting there playing that, chugging back some Mountain Dews and shit, eating some Doritos, like you might be just fucking like, oh, I found this fucking laptop over here. Oh, how many more we got
I love
this day?
how, I love how you're de-aging yourself every time you say
I mean,
that.
I could
You
be
had some
smoking weed and eating
drinking
Doritos
beer,
and
now-
drinking
now
Mountain
you're
Dew
eating
too.
Doritos.
Yeah. 2006. That's about right. That's about right. Right after high school.
So fresh-
Yeah, I was
fresh
definitely
from
smoking
college,
weed,
yeah.
drinking Mountain Dew, eating Doritos.
So yeah, there are times where these missions are a little long and like so I fall in between of like I see a lot of the good in it and especially for the time and I do remember the fun I had. And I
See, that's the
remember
thing
why
is
I had
that
fun,
I have
but
a hard
also-
time for the time. Once
Yeah.
I realized the games that have came out before it, I'm like, oh, you only had this tech and everything else is
It's
not
just them
of-
having
of,
fun
like,
with the tech that they built. Like,
Yeah, but
yeah.
it's not a mega epic like Halo is, right? Like the story where the story
No,
matters
but-
as well as everything
but
else. This is literally just like
I'm
boom,
sure
boom,
EA,
boom,
but
America
that's
with
not
your friends.
So the problem is that I would agree with you, except that I remember very clearly that EA definitely wanted it to be that big. Black had
Oh,
TV
well.
spots, like cable
Yeah.
television commercials. This game had like they definitely wanted it to be, and you're
Yes.
comparing it. I'm comparing it to other games in the same genre, in the same era.
Right. No, I completely agree. And if EA's aspirations don't mean a lot. Like we know I'm sure they wanted to be something big. I'm sure they were probably thinking every day, what can we do to make this game so unique that we're going to change the industry and charge people more?
Sure.
We've already done game codes and all the other bullshit. So, but yeah. So I'm torn. So anyway, that brings us to the end of this week. Next week is our final part, so we're gonna play through to the end. We're gonna find out exactly what's happening with McCarver and the head of Seventh Wave and this guy that's interrogating us, who eventually I'll have a name for. And yeah, we're gonna tie up Black. And that's that, everybody. So, thank you for hanging out with us. Don't forget, if you didn't listen earlier this week, to check out our earlier week's episode. But also, don't forget to hang out with Preston on Sunday. Are you doing it Sunday? I mean, I know Saturday you're coming to Comic-Con. Wait,
Saturday I'm coming to
Yes.
Comic-Con, but we're going to be going back home that day.
you're still on Sunday. I guess. Don't forget to hang out on Sundays, as we are doing Star Wars Sundays. And with that, everybody, thanks for hanging with Preston. You know what to do.
Hit it. Thank you for listening to another episode of The Testing Room. To catch up on past episodes or to check out the newest ones when they drop, follow us on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcast. If watching is more your thing, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/@thetestingroom, or watch us live on twitch.tv/testingroomlive. To leave comments or ask questions, you can follow us on Instagram @testingroompod, leave a comment on YouTube, or send them in to testingroompod@gmail.com. See you next time.